Breaking news to begin the Ravens rundown today, as the Ravens have been hit by the injury bug once again. This time, Poe the Raven, the Ravens' legendary mascot, has been placed on injured reserve after a season-ending knee injury coming from a 12-year-old Pop Warner player. Unfortunate news for the Ravens, but they will move on and hold auditions to try to find a new mascot for the Ravens for the 2022 season. So with that, we are sending our best wishes to Poe the Raven here on the Ravens Rundown. Smash the like button to say get well soon to Poe, and we'll get started with the rest of today's show. Welcome in to the Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. On today's show, we are going to break down the Baltimore Ravens practice squad as the 15 names have been revealed for your Baltimore Ravens. We will get straight to that in just one moment, but got to thank you guys here on the program as we have officially reached 7,000 subscribers on the channel. You guys showed up and showed out. The flock, undenied. You guys are the absolute best. I owe you the Ray Lewis dance. We will get to that at a later date. But thank you for being a part of what we do each and every day here on the channel. Subscribe now and join the family here at youtube.com/RavensTV. And if you're a real one and you're subscribed to the channel, type me in the comments section, part of our 7,000 plus here on the Ravens Rundown. We begin with a look at the Ravens practice squad, starting with Tyler Badie at the running back position. He was a day 3 selection by the Ravens, picked out of Mizzou. I was real high on him, but ultimately with the Ravens bringing in Kenyon Drake, then Badie got the axe. And in his time in the preseason, he showed good feet and receiving abilities in training camp, but had a quiet preseason, 65 yards on 23 carries. Anthony Brown will serve as the Ravens' de facto number 3 quarterback after a very strong preseason. Against Washington, he was 15 of 19 for 256 yards and 1 touchdown. He threw 2 nice deep balls to Demarcus Robinson, including 1 for a touchdown. Over the entire preseason, the undrafted rookie from Oregon was 35 of 47 for 464 yards, 3 touchdowns and just 1 pick. If something happens to Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley, you have to think that there's a really good chance that Anthony Brown will become the backup quarterback at that point in time. Another name, Isaiah Mack at the nose tackle spot. He was a guy that was a stout run stopper, showed flashes of his pass rush ability, and good news remaining in Baltimore. He'll have another shot to still try to make this 53-man roster. A few more names for you. Ben Mason playing that hybrid fullback tight end position, and he will serve as basically the backup to Pro Bowler Pat Ricard in his role. If something happens to Pat, then he'll be elevated to that 53-man roster to fit that role if his name is called upon. And then there is Kahlil McKenzie at the linebacker spot, and this is somebody that is going to provide some extra depth, somebody to watch out for there. So, more names to get to in just a second, but before we get to that, now it's your turn to weigh in to the Ravens Rundown. You tell me, name a practice squad player that will get promoted to the 53-man roster at some point this year. Let us know a name that stands out to you. You know, for me, there is a name in particular that we're going to get to in just a second, and that's Makai Polk. That's the guy I'm watching for. Who are you watching for? A pinned comment today. Let me know in the comment section below. Stephen Means, the mean fella, not responsible for hurting Poe the Raven, though. Wouldn't it be surprising if he's called up to the game day roster for the first couple of weeks, considering that the Ravens have just 2 healthy outside linebackers currently on the 53-man roster. Also, Jeremiah Moon at the outside linebacker spot. Moon flashed in practice and in games. He had 3 tackles and a half sack in the preseason finale. Then there's Rashad Nichols at the defensive tackle spot, and he's shown some good quickness off the snap. He's got good ability there. Don't know if we're going to see him get the call up at some point this year, but Be interesting to see what he brings to the table. And then there's my guy, in the words of our own Marshall Green around here, Makai Polk at the wide receiver position. And Makai Polk was a guy that at Mississippi State was terrific in the SEC, had big-time production, and was somebody that stood out in training camp practices. He led the Ravens in receptions in the preseason opener, hauling in 6 catches for 43 yards, but only had 2 more catches for 49 yards in the 2 other games this preseason. So I like Makai Polk, but he didn't show the consistency needed to get to the active roster, quite frankly. And Shamar Bridges was another guy that I think had a very good shot to make the 53-man roster, but he's going to be out for the year more than likely. So 2 undrafted rookies that were good finds for the Ravens, but ultimately are going to have to continue to keep on working to try to get to that 53-man roster. So prediction time. Will Makai Polk be activated in 2022? Will we see him at some point this season? Let me know in the comments section. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no, if Makai Polk will be activated this year. Another name, Kevon Seymour at the cornerback spot. He was absolutely awful this preseason. Let's not sugarcoat it, okay? I mean, he could have been on the 53-man roster if he just simply would have played better. He suffered an ankle sprain in the preseason finale, and head coach John Harbaugh said he could come back in a few weeks and be on that roster. So we'll see if Seymour can get back out there, and please don't look like a deer in headlights if you come back out there for goodness sakes. Today's show is presented by BetUS, and BetUS is offering a great deal just for Ravens Rundown viewers. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code CHAT125, they're going to give you a 125% deposit bonus. Now, you may be sitting there asking yourself, what does that mean? Well, that's what I'm here for, folks. You see, you put $100 down, they're going to give you $125 to spend for free. It's free money. You're not going to find a better deal than this right here. You want to bet on sports? Bet on it today at chatsports.com/bet. You can bet on the Ravens opener or NFL games across the league, college football getting started this week. I'm telling you, I got my money on Notre Dame to cover against Ohio State. 17.5, too many points. Take the Fighting Irish to cover. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. A few more names to get to. Let's talk about David Sharpe now at the offensive tackle spot. Played in 3 games last season, bouncing between the practice squad and the game day roster. He'll be somebody to watch for. Also, Binjimen Victor at the wide receiver spot. Spent all of last season on the practice squad, and he'll start there again for his second season. Made strides this summer, but was still a part of a crowded field of competition. Victor did make one of the most spectacular plays of the preseason with a leaping 50-yard grab over his head. So we'll see if Victor can compete and try to find his way back. A few more names for you. Adarius Washington. He made the initial 53-man roster in 2021, played in 3 games but suffered a broken foot last year. Missed much of this summer rehabbing, but made a good impression after returning. He had 6 tackles in that preseason finale against the Commanders, defended the final pass well that sealed the Ravens' 23rd straight preseason win. He's a name to watch for if he can get healthy. Also, Raleigh Webb at the wide receiver spot. Really emerged in the preseason, scored a 38-yard touchdown against Arizona. He, Polk, Shamar, Bridges, all were competing for a roster spot, and we'll see if he continues on that track there. Last name is cornerback Daryl Worley. The Ravens brought back Worley on August 8th after the season-ending injury to linebacker Vince Beagle. Worley then nabbed an interception in the first preseason game just 3 days later and played well for much of the preseason. Worley played in just 4 games last season, and this is his 7th year in the league. He's one of those veterans that gets one of those limited veteran spots that are made available on the practice squad. So there you have it. That is the Ravens practice squad. Get out those red pens now. Grade the Ravens practice squad. What do you think? Let me know. Type A, B, C, D, or F in the comments section below and let me know how you would grade this Ravens practice squad. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, where I'm covering your favorite team, also giving you updates on that weak mascot, Poe. We're sending our well wishes to him, but, I mean, that's soft. You can't be getting beat around by a 12-year-old kid. Come on, man. We'll see you next time here on the Ravens Rundown. Have a great day.